Hello, ordinary person. How are you doing? Welcome back from the break. For those of you that are listening for the first time, my name is Richard Okongwu, and this is Sometimes Curious, Often Confused. So, I don't know if you know this, you probably don't know it, but I've been trying to piece together an episode. I'm not out of ideas. I know what I want to talk about. But I find myself stuck in this loop of, hey, I want to discuss this. I want to share this with an audience. But of course, the first fear that creeps in is the fear of, oh, what if you're wrong? What if you later find out that you're wrong? What if this gets to the wrong audience? I don't know what I would do if it got to the wrong audience. I don't have control of that. And I've known that for too long, but why does that fear keep creeping in? Every time. What if you're wrong? What if people don't like this part of you? What if it seems as though you're trying to make yourself more complex than you are? And I found myself where I have been trying to just say things out. I don't know why that fear keeps, why it keeps haunting me. Why am I so afraid of being wrong? Even though I make enough room for other people to be wrong around me. Well, I think I am. Because I think we should encourage more of that. We should encourage more of people coming as they are. Because over-preparedness kills creativity. It kills expression. Okay, what if people don't understand this? What if people don't understand that? So, I don't know if this is going to later make it to be an episode. I might publish this, I might not. And just in case I do, well, you're listening to me now already. But life is complex. Things are much more complex than they appear to be. And I think movies have us fooled. For a very long time, if you are someone that watches movies a lot and you watch people going through a recovery process, whatever kind of recovery it is, it looks so simple. I mean, you just have to sit with your popcorn and watch someone go from 80 to 0 and then back to 100. Not even 80. They go back up, everything, happily ever afters. But that's not how life works. But of course, you and I know that already. But still, we expect things to work out so easily. Like, if you're someone who is struggling to communicate with people, you expect that, just what you need is a few courses, online on how to present, and you have it all figured out. But then you do it and, you try to compare it with what other people are doing, and, well, you discover it doesn't work that way. Somehow you still feel that like those people are ahead of you. And the funny thing? The funny thing is that you know that comparison is not a good idea. I know that comparison is not a good idea. But we can't just get ourselves to that stage where we stop comparing ourselves with other people. Even though you know it's not going to help you. You're going to be envious. You're not even going to feel productive. That envy will eventually might eventually turn to jealousy. So back to what I was saying. So things are so complex. Life is so complex that recovery, the process is very, very complicated. The repeat process. You see this thing that they talk about, consistency, always showing up. That thing looks easy in the eyes, but when you try to piece it together, when you try to look into it a little more, you discover it's very, very complex. And that's why whenever I see people that are, on day 30 of their journey, I feel so, how do I say it? I'm so proud of them. Not just day 30, I mean, like people that are putting a count on whatever they are doing. Maybe day 15. Day 15 is like 15 days. That's like 15 individual days, 15 obstacles, 15 different stages, 15, the 15 problems. If you don't understand that process, it looks like it's just a cycle, and all you have to do is, once you have it figured out, you can just you just have to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. But it's not that easy, because it's the process. It's the process, and every step of the way might prove more difficult. You think you have it figured out at this stage, but the next one is much more complicated, or it might be much more easy. It's not that easy to predict. So, what journey am I on? I'm on the journey of trying to communicate with people. I'm on that journey. I'm on the journey of telling myself that I just need to show up again. So a big shout out to you if you're on a journey, whether it's weight loss journey, communication, whether you're learning tech, whatever it is, and you have gone beyond day one. Sometimes it gets easier, sometimes it gets more complicated. But what matters is that you're showing up. You're showing up. And no, it's not a repeat cycle. It's not as simple as you learned this today and you're definitely going to use it tomorrow. That's not how the real life works. Tomorrow, you might meet something much more difficult. Tomorrow, you might meet something much more easier. It's not that predictable. We just have to keep showing up. I have to keep showing up. I hope I don't cringe when I listen to this episode in the future. I hope I don't. And if you're in that cycle of over-preparedness, well, I am telling you, like I am here to tell you, and I'm here to tell me that you don't need to over-prepare. Whatever journey it is that you're on, I have many things that I'm learning that, I just try to get things in order. I'm trying to get everything in order. Some time ago, I was against people being told you can learn with your mobile phone. You can learn with your mobile phone. And this is very common, in the tech space. People that are trying to learn graphics and all those things, they usually tell them you can start with your phone. I didn't understand it because I thought it was, it's just a lie. Like, you can't start everything with your phone, obviously, yes. But there are some things you should just start with your phone. So maybe you shouldn't be waiting for that Core i5, Core i7 laptop. Maybe you should just start with your phone. And I mean it, start with your phone. Just start with it. Start with it. It's not that easy. It's not. But the thing is that if you can get yourself to start with the little you have, it gets easier from there. Yeah, it's going to be rocky at some point, but it gets easier. At least you got started, right? Because that over-preparedness, that's, I need to have things figured out. I need to have everything in order for it to happen. Sometimes when you have everything in place, sometimes if you wait long enough, to have everything in place, but then you might have lost the spark, you might have lost, do you understand? Because you spent a lot of strength looking for things, looking for the wrong things. I mean, they are the right things, but by the time you get them, they are now the wrong things. I'm saying this because, okay, fine. Let me tell you the reason why I'm doing this now. So where does it affect me? Like me, Richard, how does it affect me? I'm recording this episode with my phone. No microphone, nothing, just my phone. I'm recording it on my phone's default recorder. And I know I've said it multiple times. I don't even know if this is going to make it to an episode. You understand? But hopefully it does. I hope I get myself, I push myself enough to make this an episode, because this is just the first step. I have done a lot of, I keep audio diaries, of course. If you have listened to a few of my episodes, you might know that. So this is kind of like an audio diary, and I hope it makes it to the podcast. So if you're listening to this on a podcast, then yeah, it made it. Oh, and if you don't get to hear this episode, that means it's stuck in my audio recorder. I never exported it. I never shared it. But I hope you hear it. So I'm not just here to tell you what to do or direct you or give you recommendation. I'm also telling myself, because it's very difficult. And I think I should be doing more of this. I think I should be doing more of the process stuff. Let me know what you think. I think I should be doing more of this process stuff. I'm not a fan of end results. I mean, yeah, sometimes the end justifies the means, sometimes, but there are other situations where the process is very interesting. And that's why I'm hoping that in the future I don't cringe when I listen to this episode. I hope I don't. Because a lot of my diary entries end up being deleted. And I hope I don't delete this one. So if you are starting anything or if you have any intentions of starting anything, well, if you are looking for a sign, or whether or not you are looking for a sign, actually, this is your sign. I'm here to tell you. If it is the Udemy app, go and download it, please. This is me telling you to go and download that app. Download it and sign up, please. And try to take a lesson today. Try something. If you are in your content creator journey, I'm not saying you should set yourself up by trying to video yourself with maybe your phone with poor camera, but just try it. Maybe you don't get to publish it, but try it. Demo. Just try. I listened to an interview, and there was something that they said there. There were a lot of things that were said. Don't worry, I'm going to reference the interview in the future. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to say a lot of things about it, hopefully. But there was this part where one of them said something. They said some of their content that made it, as in that went viral, that people got to see, were the ones that they didn't even prepare that people were going to see. Do you understand? We are the ones that they didn't even prepare that people were going to see. They put the least effort in those contents. They were like, let me just throw this thing out there. If it sticks, it sticks. And it ended up going viral. Probably because the algorithm, rewards authenticity. But, I mean, you can take any lesson you want from what I just said. Just try. Just put it out there. Put it out there and, switch off your phone. A lot of people are not actually afraid of failing. I don't know. Let me not speak for a lot of people. Let me speak for myself. I'm not afraid of failing. What I'm mostly afraid of is the shame that comes with failing, right? And that mostly happens when you're surrounded by people. When I'm surrounded by people and I fail, I feel like they are going to use it against me in the future. Do you understand? So I just convince myself I'm not going to fail. And by not failing, I end up not learning anything. I end up learning nothing because I never tried. If you try, you're going to fail. If you try, you will fail. But it is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. You will fail. And if you're afraid of failing, if you're afraid of people always asking you, okay, so what about that thing that you tried? If you're afraid of people asking you that when, because that fear is part of what gets people never to do something. Because they're afraid that if people are around them when they tried it and the result comes out and, the result is not that favorable, that people are going to keep asking them, okay, so what about that thing you tried? Have you considered trying it when they are not looking? Have you considered trying it when they are not looking? Have you tried being, I don't know what it is that you want to give a try, but have you tried doing it when nobody is looking? Have you tried it? Because this episode that I'm recording, I mean, if I was doing it in a room full of people, I know they would be like, okay, we know this is how you talk, but hit the point, hit the nail on the head. But I just want to say I just want to communicate this way. This is how I want to talk now. And I'm doing it where no one is. Like, I'm the only one here. Of course, you might be hearing background noise because... Anyway, let me not describe for you where I am. But the summary of the whole thing is that I'm not in the room with anybody. So nobody can hear me in real time. I don't know in what form or format you have heard in the past that you should keep trying. Maybe someone has told you people are just showing you their Instagram reels, you're just seeing a highlight of their life. I don't know how, but different people have tried to communicate it with you in different ways. This is my own entry. I'm also trying to convince you to start. I'm convincing myself to publish this episode so that I know I risk embarrassing myself because this episode is not really published. It's not really worthy of being published. But I'm still going to put it out there, okay? I'm going to put it out, hoping that maybe this is your own sign. I don't know how many people it's going to. I don't know how many people are going to listen to it, and it's to convince them to give it a try, to give whatever it is that they want to start, to give it a try. But if it's just you, then I'm okay with it. Because I know how many entries I had to do. I know how many times I needed to try for me to be able to get this one, to convince myself that this was good. So as I said earlier, if you need to be the only one in the room, if you don't need to announce, don't announce to people, don't tell them the process. Not just because of envious people or negativity. No, not far from that. Personally, that's not the reason why I don't share my process with people. It's just because I know how embarrassing it is. I know, I want to lower the expectation for myself. I want to know that I'm the only one expecting it from myself. And concerning the thing I said earlier, I think those people that say that content that they published, that they shared on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever they shared it, those people that say that when they shared it and they were not expecting it to do well, and it ended up doing well, I think I understand what happened there. Imagine if those episodes didn't do well. It would have been expected, right? It would have been expected, and it wouldn't have taken anything from them. They would have been like, oh, what was I even expecting? I didn't even prepare so much for this. I didn't even put so much effort in this. Okay? But after it ended up doing well, it took them by surprise. What I'm trying to say is lower your expectation. Lower your expectation for yourself. Lower it. You're not being pessimistic. You're not being negative. Just lower the expectation. Lower the expectation for the sake of trying again. So you will have enough motivation to try again. So you will. I'm not just talking to you, I'm also talking to me. I might put out this episode and it will end up not reaching a lot of people. And I'm okay with it because this is a low effort episode to start with. I'm hoping it reaches people, but I know you understand what I'm driving at. So lower your expectations for yourself. Just show up. Just try. I don't know, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed making this. And I hope you do. And I hope I can get myself to do more of this. More of these process-based episodes. Alright, so if you're new to the podcast, thank you so much for listening. Once again, my name is Richard Okonwo, and you're listening to Sometimes Curious, Often Confused. Until next time, stay curious.